What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Who's ready for the latest roster update in the history of the universe? It comes out today in 3 hours, but there's still time to invest in some of these guys. So I got 20 names for you. We're going to power through them and get to it because, again, it's very late. Honestly, it's just a timing thing for me. There was no malicious intent, but I didn't have the time I needed to get the video out sooner. Did the list last night, got the video coming out this morning. But again, even with where we're at, with the 3 hours till the update, you can still invest in some of these guys, including my first diamond, Spencer Strider. Look at this. Quick sell on a diamond is 3,000. You can still get in there. 13.8 K per 9, 2.5 walks per 9, and 7.5 hits per 9 during this period. To me, actually, hang on. Sorry, those were the wrong numbers. I had the wrong date there. This period, it was actually, for Spencer Strider, 11.8 Ks, 2.6 walks, and 7 hits. So the strikeouts go down a little bit, but the walks go up a smidge, 0.1, and then the hits actually come down 0.5. So all in all, I think it seals it. The walk rate improvement, even moving from the 2.5 that I had written down to 2.6, is enough to get a big jump here. I think he's a diamond. I'm slamming it with him. I still got 55 left. I sold off some. I was buying him as a common, so I've been selling off some as the price has risen just to get a little bit, but I'm still sticking with these 55 and I'm riding diamond out. Even if he gets +1 today, I'm still riding it out. Let's go over to the Dodgers. You can probably guess who I'm going to talk about here. Not as investable on Tony Gonsolin. He's at 2,500, but I like him to go up too. This one should be easy. 8.8 K9, 2.3 BB9, and 4.6 hits during this period. That should be enough, especially with the strikeouts and walks. Well, really with the walks, to be honest, because the strikeouts, 61 for an 8.8 mark, that's actually pretty close. So it's really going to be the walks here, but he only needs 1 point. I think he gets it. Gonzo to diamond. Another diamond starter on the Phillies, Zach Wheeler. He's been pretty diamondy all year, so I would be surprised if he doesn't get it. Now, his skills are not off the charts this period. 9.1 Ks, 1.9 walk, and 7.7 hits. However, I think a little sprinkle across the board there will be enough to get him the 1 point. He's been diamondy all year, like I said, so I think it's time. Reliever, one of the best closers in the game, Emmanuel Clase. Feel like he should probably be a diamond because of how well he's been pitching. 8.2 strikeouts. He's still not a big strikeout guy, but literally 0 walks this period and 2.5 hits. Pump the hit 9 up further, pump the BB9 up further, and we should be good for +1 on Emmanuel Clase. Another reliever who's pitching brilliantly. He's not a closer. They can bring this guy in whenever they want during the game as a badass lefty, and that is AJ Minter. He's been incredible. And folks, I think he can get diamond here. Looking at his numbers over this period, 12.7 Ks, which is awesome, 1.7 BB9, which is brilliant, and 7.7 hits, which is just fine for this period, but the other two metrics are good enough. I think he can push the 2 points here. I really do, and he's got great numbers all year. 12.0 Ks, 1.5 walks, 6.7 hits on the season. If they go 84, I'm still holding for diamond, but I like him to get there today. Back to Cleveland. One of their hitters I've got going diamond, and again, you can probably guess who it. It's not J-Ram. He's already there. It's not quite Naylor. He has been a little nicked. I do still love him, but it is indeed Andres Gimenez, who's been on fire. I mean, he's just pure dominance versus righties, plus a power surge against lefties. This feels like a slam dunk to me. I'd be pretty surprised if he comes up short. He's been awesome. He's been playing like a diamond. If you haven't been using his premium card, actually he might have 2, right? He's got this one and a Tops Now. Yeah, if you haven't been using these premium cards of Gimenez, I do recommend them. Small sample here with the All-Star, but I really liked the Tops Now, and I highly recommend Gimenez cards. Now, moving on, those are my 6 diamonds for you. I do have more on my list for my Twitch subscribers at twitch.tv/sport. 9 total diamonds on that. So I gave you all 6 of the 9. That's pretty nice. This one's not quite diamond, but he is going to be a hold for diamond for sure. Or as we say, destined for diamond, D for D. And that is a new Mariner, Luis Castillo. So he's an 81. I see 2 points here. I don't quite see a 4-point boost. He has been amazing. He's diamond against the Yankees, I'll tell you that. But 10.4 K, 2.9 walks and 5.7 hits during this period. That's a 35 inning sample. That should get some love on all three categories. And I think a particular boost on the strikeouts and walks will push him up there to that 83, 84 range. I gave him an 83, but either way, I think it's going to be 83, 84. It's going to come up just short, but you get in now while the getting's good, because I do think he's got a great opportunity to go diamond during the rest of this year. Getting out of that Cincinnati park for Seattle is huge for Luis Castillo. Back to the relief area and talking Dodgers pitcher, Evan Phillips. Now, talked about him a long time ago when he was first on the come up and said he could be a sneak gold this year, and I think he gets there. He's been brilliant across the board all year, really, but particularly this period. 11.8 Ks, 2.8 walks, and 2.8 hits. So he allowed the same amount of hits and walks this period for a 2.8 per 9 measure. And like I said, just been brilliant across the board. I'm not going to lie, y'all. We know the Dodgers are going to make the playoffs. Evan Phillips has some diamond upside if you want to wait the long haul with him. I like him to go gold here for sure. I got him going up to an 81, so a +3. And then, you know, we're 4 points from that point. And he's going to be in the playoffs, like I mentioned. So I think I'm holding here. Like, pretty much regardless of where he goes today, I think I'm going to try to see this through and see if he can get to diamond. I really like Evan Phillips. He's been amazing for the Dodgers. Back out to the Mariners. I'm actually going to do two Mariners here, even one that's like further down the list. But since we're on the Mariners, I'm gonna do two birds, one stone. We're going to start with Eric Swanson, who you can see here has +4s on inside edge to get to 81. Now, I had him going 81, and I wonder if I might be selling him short. He's at 10.1 K, 1.3 walks, and 6.3 hits for this period. I had that going up to 81, and like I said, I wonder if maybe he can go, if +4s gets him there, I wonder if maybe there's even some more juice and he goes 82, 83 here. That's really all. I don't see, you know, he's not going 79 to diamond, but I do think he goes gold here. And there is some diamond upside here too. Eric Swanson's having a wonderful year out of the bullpen. The Mariners are definitely not as guaranteed for the playoffs as the Dodgers, as we were talking about with Phillips, but they're in a good position to go, and if they do, that's going to give Swanson some extra time to where he could definitely go. I'm gonna move over here so you guys can see the card art. Not that that's the biggest deal, but I should have noticed it earlier. Pardon me on that. Oh, and then the other one I'll do here, since we're here, is Andres Munoz. Now, he's a big riser. I got to give shouts to my boy Jay Spawney in my Discord. He's been all over this. This is one of his favorite calls. He's dead right that Munoz is incredible. He might even push gold on this update. Now, I've got him for a 79. I'm playing it a little bit cautious, but either way, now is the time to invest because he's going to get a big jump. And Andres Munoz also has diamond upside by season's end. So if we're looking at this period here, let me see. He's not on this stat list here. Give me 1 second. Let me get his fresh stats here. Sorry, I know we're kind of speed running this since it's so late. And again, I apologize. 13.5 Ks, 2.5 walks, and 4.3 hits. The hits and the walks are going, and even the strikeouts could jump up some too. 87 is a good number, but 13.5 K, he's just been incredible on the year. And I really think he has a chance to maybe go gold this period, if not next. And then, you know, down the line, maybe there's a diamond upside. So Andres Munoz is a big dog here. Back to some of our golds. Let's go to Tampa Bay for a pair. Got two starters going. We'll start with Jeffrey Springs. He's going to come out and be real proud of going up to an 80. He didn't have a single standout category this period, but he was solid. 8.9 K, 1.4 BB, and 8.5 hits. The hits were a little high. The walks, 1.5 or 1.4 walks per 9 is pretty good. It's amazing, not pretty good. That's going to get the boost. That's where he's going to go gold here, in my opinion, with Jeffrey Springs. And then Drew Rasmussen, obviously, you guys know that he had that perfect game going for a while, and then he had no hitter, and then he was out, didn't even get the complete game. And he's not a strikeout guy, so he's not going to improve his biggest weakness. Only 6.8 Ks during this period, but 1.4 walks and 6.6 hits. I do think he gets his 2 points and goes gold here. If he could get some strikeouts, things would be even better, but that's just not his game. So I'm not going to try to wish cast that on to Drew Rasmussen. Let's move over to the Jays here real quick. talk about Matt Chapman, who's just had a power resurgence big time. I got him going gold here. He had a 7-homer period, and that contact, so he's already on a 42 contact against righties, and that's obviously bad. However, it should mitigate the pain of his 193 average against righties. Like, how much lower are they really going to hit him? You know, I think it's one of those where it's like, well, obviously that was bad, but he's already down there, right? It's like already done. By the way, I misspoke. I said 7-homer. That's on the wrong date. He has a 9-homer period, 8 against righties, and it also. So let me backtrack as to why I had the wrong date. I was doing it since the 27th because of the 29th update, but that didn't touch the core 4, so you really got to go all the way back to the 13th. So on some of these, I had even lower numbers than I should have for guys, and Chapman is one of them. So now, forget what I said about the batting average, because with the updated numbers, he hits 267 against righties during this period, which is totally fine. He might even get a boost there. But the power's off the charts. Against lefties, he only has 17 plate appearances, but he hit 2 homers with a 313 average, so he'll get a little love there. Chapman's going to go to he could go to an 82, and then all of a sudden Diamond is in play again for Matt Chapman. So get in now while you can, because price will only go up from here. Let's go over to Minnesota real quick and talk Luis Arraez, aka Stephen Kwan. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about Stephen Kwan too. Actually, next. They're the same player, so why not? He's not my most confident gold because of his strength, as you can see, is what he can do against righties. And he's just continuing to do that, right? Like, hey, you're awesome against righties. We know that. He hit 289 against them, but no real power, 118 ISO, which is not very good. 408 slug if you prefer slug, but 408, you might think, oh, there's a little power there, but it all comes from the batting average, or from the singles, and so that's not power. 824 OPS against lefties with a 333 batting average. That's where you can get some love. 29 plate appearances. It might be a 79. Again, he's not my most confident gold, but give him the last 2 points against righties there. Maybe a little love on the power, because while his power was not good, nobody's excited about a 117 ISO. That's his composite for the period. It's probably better than what a 25 and a 40 suggests. So maybe a little bit there. So again, probably more of a 79, but I did give him the 80 there, thinking that he might get there. It just depends how close he is. If he's a higher 78, he can get there. If not, we might get a 79. This one's a little bit on a wire too, the Stephen Kwan, who I just mentioned. And I'm not joking when I say they're the same player, because they are. Obviously, their makeup is a little different, but what they do and what they do well is pretty similar. But similarly, it puts Quan a little bit on the wire too, meaning I don't know if he's necessarily going to get the 2 points here, because he also doesn't hit for power, but he hit 338 during this period. I think he did well against both lefties and righties. He was 280 against lefties, which is fine as a lefty, and then 352 against righties. So he's going to get a big contact boost against righties. Maybe nothing against lefties, it just stays. And then as far as the power, he had a 133 ISO against lefties, which is bad, but again, probably better than a 30 power, so you can get a little love there. And then against lefties, in 25 plate appearances, he had an 080 ISO, so they're not going to improve the 25 there. So it's going to be close with Quan and Arraez, but they do both have gold upside, so get in now in case they get 79 today. Speaking of some potential 79s, I've got 5 here. Well, actually, I have 6 total, but I gave you guys Munoz. I got 5 here to close this out. These are our next golds, and because I got them at 79, they could go gold today, so I want to highlight them. And we'll start with Blake Snell, friend of the channel, absolute stud. Now, here's a big thing about what Snell's been doing. His walk rate has looked a lot better of late. Now, when I was looking at the wrong period, his walk rate was 1.1, which was awesome. When I go back to the actual period, it bumps up to 3.1, which is not amazing, but it's still better than where he's been, which is over 4 for the season. So I still think there's a win there, and I think he's going to get a point or two today, and then set up for gold if he continues to pitch this well with Blake Snell. Ooh, bars. And then we go to Atlanta. Talk about one of their starters, Charlie Morton. I got him for 2 points here. Now, will he have enough for +3? I don't think so, and that's why I didn't send him sky high. But 11.5 Ks, 2.8 walks, and 6.6 hits. I think he gets love across the board, and it just kind of depends how close he is to 78 there. Like, is he a high 77 or a low 77? And sometimes we use Inside Edge to get some hints on this, and if we see, who was it earlier that I saw +4s got him there? I can't remember which player that was, but I was like, oh, that gives us some info. So with Morton, I don't know exactly where we're at, but he should get love across the board. He's really been himself for a while now. He had those early season struggles, but he's back on track. Let's go out to Baltimore, talk about their rookie catcher, Adley Ruchman. He's at a 78. I've only got a +1 right now because he's kind of just adhering to his split currently, where he's better against righties. 550 OPS against lefties. That's why I only see +1. He does have an 1129 against righties. So if the love against righties is enough, and again, here's where Inside Edge does illuminate some things. He gets +5s, he goes up to a 79. Now, let's say he gets +12s. I don't know, I'm just making up a number against righties on both sides. Would that be enough to go 80? I don't know, right? We know +5s gets him to 79, but we don't know what pushes the 80, how close. So this one, I went 79 here just to play it a bit cautious, but I still like Adley as a hold for gold. Let's go out to Texas, talking Nathaniel Lowe. Big fan of his. I really think if he can get some lift in his game consistently, he can be an absolute beast. I really, really like Nathaniel Lowe, both now and in the future as far as like fantasy goes and things like that. But as far as what we're talking about for this period, he had 287 average, 347 OBP, and 506 slug against righties for the period, which is very nice, and it's going to get some love. That's his weakness. And then continued to do his thing against lefties. He's a reverse platoon guy. He beasts on lefties, and finally getting going against righties. But 385 average, 415 OBP, and 538 slug against lefties. That's huge. So he might even get some lefty love. So I got him for 2 points up to a 79. He is a hold for gold, but he just might not get it this period. And then our last guy on our speed run edition here, stay in the NL West, talk about Reed Detmers. How great has he been? He's turned a corner, folks. And, I'm going to do a little back pat, just because sometimes you nail it. Sometimes you get it dead wrong. I couldn't have loved Akil Baddoo more this year. Recommended him in fantasy. Took him in all my leagues. Biggest bust ever. I'll eat that L. But that means if I'm going to eat my L's, as I should, as everyone should, because you're going to get shit wrong, you can get a little happy about a dub. And I was pretty hot on Detmers this year, and one of the things I said that played out perfectly, I was on a podcast or a radio show, I don't remember where I was doing the spot, but I remember saying, hey, I love Detmers, I'm drafting him this year, but he might be more of a summer breakout. Meaning, draft him because his upside is huge. Remember, he had the no-hitter early on, so it's not like he was completely terrible at the beginning of the season, but he wasn't at his best. At that point in the year, he gets sent down and figures out the slider, and that was really it. He wasn't getting swings and misses, so even though he was putting up some decent numbers early on, we were all kind of skeptical of it, like, it's not quite there yet. Don't let this no-hitter fool you, things like that. He goes down to the minors, threw one outing down there, struck out 8 gajillion guys. They're like, oh, you figured it out that quick. Okay, cool. We'll bring you back up. He's got his breaking ball. He's missing bats. He's turned a major corner. Since his recall, 11.8 Ks, 3.3 walks, and 6.0 hits per 9 in 36 innings. He's been amazing. I think he goes all the way up to a 79. He might even go gold. They might sweep him, like do a sweeping change across the board to identify who he is right now. But if not, +6 up to 79 sets up a hold for gold. But I do like Detmers a lot. And as far as talking like fantasy for next year, I'm going to really love him again too, because I think he's going to finish strong and then be one of those big breakout picks for next year. Of course, if he has a great August after what he did, or a great September after what he's done so far on the recall, he's not going to be a hidden player. So don't think that you're going to get him as like a sleeper next year. But anyway, love Reed Detmers. And there you go. 20 names guys that I love, focused on level changers and higher end players. Spencer Strider, Tony Gonsolin, Zach Wheeler, Emmanuel Clase, AJ Minter, and Andres Jimenez going diamond. Luis Castillo setting up diamond by going up to an 83 or an 84. Matt Chapman, Evan Phillips, Eric Swanson, Jeffrey Springs, Drew Rasmussen, Luis Ariz, and Stephen Kwan going gold. And then Blake Snell, Charlie Morton, Adley Ruchman, Nathaniel Lowe, Reed Detmers, and Andres Munoz all going to a 79. Some of whom have gold potential this period, but I played it a little bit safe. Get in now though, because if I'm wrong to the positive end, meaning they go a little bit higher, then you miss your chance. So, I'm already in on Detmers. I don't know if he's going to go gold. I actually have a bunch more orders. I'm the 60, 76 orders right there. So I got trumped. I'm going to have to go in and get a few more shares there. I was hoping to have like 75 to show off to y'all, but I got trumped, so I'll figure that out. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Sorry this one was late. Hopefully you're able to watch this on Friday. You can see, get some extra investments in late, and then I will do the review at 2 p.m. Central on Friday the 19th on Twitch, twitch.tv/sport, and then I'll have the review up late Friday or early Saturday here on YouTube. So thanks for watching. Sorry it was so late, but hopefully you can get in and still get some of these guys. Spencer Strider still very investable, and I think he's going diamond. Peace.